Mileena has crazy high combo damage, great mobility, and even some decent counter zoning. However, her biggest weakness is a severe lack of low mix-ups, but that can be easily fixed with a cameo partner. So without any further ado, here's a quick Mileena guide that teaches you all you need to know. But if you have any tips for Mileena, then comment down below and let's learn together. Mileena is so much fun in this game, let's begin. First up, we have the ball roll, and this starts combos without any meter whatsoever. And as a result, even without a cameo partner, Mileena is getting really good damage. Oh my gosh, just look at this, only 1 bar of meter and we've almost reached 40%. Yeah, this character hits like a truck. And also don't forget, the range on ball roll is really good. It's just barely under full screen and it can go under projectiles if timed correctly. Or in other words, this move is good at everything. And then if you spend the meter, you get a really damaging way to end combos. Look at this, 15% for a single special move. Yeah, if you ever want to spend meter with Mileena, I recommend it on this move. However, do be careful, this move is very unsafe on block, so don't just throw it out randomly. If the opponent blocks this, you're gonna eat a full combo and it's gonna hurt. And then next up, we have teleport down. Despite what you saw in the trailers, no, this move cannot start combos, but even so, it's great for avoiding projectiles and other forms of keep away. And then if you spend a meter on it, it actually has armor and does way more damage, so it's a great get off me tool. And keep in mind, this teleport can also be done from the air as well, which is great for juggle combos, especially with certain assists. But now it's time for the up teleport, which cannot be done in the air, but even so, it's still great in its own way. For example, if you spend bar on this thing, you can do air attacks on the way down to keep the combo going, and yes, the damage can be really good. And keep in mind that just like down teleport, this move can be great for countering spam, keep away, and all forms of zoning. And next up, we have the low side. This does not go full screen, which is weird, but it's kind of a thing with Mileena. None of her projectiles travel the entire screen. Instead, they all kind of fizzle out around half screen. However, even so, low psi is still great for countering projectiles, and it's also your only low mix-up most of the time, because check this out. Literally all of Mileena's strings are overheads with the exception of one. For example, take this string. Normally it ends in an overhead, but just do low size and now it's a low instead, so your opponent's not quite sure how to block. Or even this string, for example. The final hit is a really awesome overhead that's also plus on block, but now instead it's a low hitting projectile. So yeah, the mix-ups never stop coming. However, do be warned, this move is very unsafe on block, even the meter burn version, which does do more damage and also knocks the opponent down, which can be great in the corner. Oh, and I almost forgot, the EX low psi also goes full screen, which is not true for the regular version. And next up, let's talk about the straight psi. Just like low psi, this does not go full screen and can also be ducked under. However, even so, it does some decent damage, and the EX version is interesting. It actually costs 2 bars by default, which is right now I can't do anything. So just excuse me while I go into practice settings and give myself a full bar of meter. Alright, here we go. The animation on this thing is absolutely ridiculous. No matter where the psi lands, Mileena instantly teleports to the opponent's location. Does this go full screen? Yes, it does. And you might be wondering, why does it cost 2 bars of meter? That seems like so much meter. Well, the answer might actually surprise you. Mileena is actually able to combo after this. Check this out. I can get a guaranteed ball roll and yes, a full combo afterwards. Now, is the damage worth it? It's only 33%, which is good damage, don't get me wrong, but for 2 bars, it's really not that great, especially for Mileena, who easily gets over 40% damage for 1 bar of meter. In my honest opinion, the main time you would ever want to use this particular move is in the corner specifically to end a very long combo and cash out on a bit more damage. Because when combined with the proper cameo, you can get a little bit extra damage, maybe 3, 4, 5% at the end of your combo. And actually, there's one more thing worth mentioning. If the opponent blocks this move, it has an overhead follow-up, which normally it does not have, and that's just kind of interesting. It's gonna catch some players off guard, but I don't think it's worth the risk because yes, it's still fully punishable on block. But next up, we have the up ball, which is by far my favorite new attack in Mileena's arsenal. This thing is your go-to way for extending combos 90% of the time. It holds the opponent in the air for a very good while, which gives you enough time to walk in and finish your combo. Wait, did I call it the right name? It might actually be called air ball. Yeah, it's called air ball, not up ball, my bad, but you get the idea. It's a ball that you do in the air. And keep in mind, you can do this move after a regular jump in kick, and yes, it holds the opponent in the air long enough to get a regular combo follow-up, which is really, really cool. And of course, you can spend bar on this move, and if you do, it actually homes in on the opponent's location at a very awesome angle. It doesn't matter if they're right in front of your face, or if you're all the way at full screen, it will pick the correct angle to hit the opponent, and I believe it hits overhead as well. Let's double check. No, it's a mid. It's a mid, not an overhead. Keep that in mind. Now, of course, this move by itself is not worth 1 bar of meter, but check this out. If you charge it, it will actually bounce the opponent off the ground to start a combo or extend combos if done after certain cameos. Yeah, this thing is really interesting. And believe it or not, there's one more thing this move can do. If you tap down twice during the meter burn, you can just cancel out of it. Now, the problem is you don't recover right away. I'm gonna hold up. That's how long it takes you to actually move after you cancel out of it. So unless you're far away from the opponent, I don't recommend doing this. They can definitely punch you in the face and start a combo. And now finally, it's time for the attack strings. First up, we have 1, 2, 1 plus 3. That's right, it ends in a throw input, although it's not unblockable. Instead, it's actually an overhead. And in certain situations, this final hit can actually be great for ending a long combo. However, most of the time, you're just going to use the first 2 hits because they're great for canceling into your ball roll, or in some cases canceling into a cameo to extend the combo that way. In this situation, I have Serena, who's my absolute favorite, and oh, the combo damage is so good. Honestly, Mileena feels a lot like Noob Saibot in this game, because if the opponent does something even barely unsafe, you're gonna hit them with a 40% damage combo. But next up, we have forward 1, 4, 4. The last 2 hits are dial in, and you can actually special cancel the 3rd hit. In my experience, there's not many reasons to do so. It's not the optimal way to start or extend combos, but hey, it's an option. And also, did you notice it ends in a low? That's kind of a big deal because Mileena does not have many lows outside of this special move. Next up, we have 2, 1 plus 2. Once again, it ends in an overhead, not an unblockable, even though the string is ended with the throw button. And keep in mind that this string switches sides, so if you're in the corner, guess what? Now your opponent's in the corner. And on top of that, this move can be great for ending long combos. And next up, we have forward 2, 4, 2. This might be the only string Mileena has where she can actually special cancel the low. For this string, she absolutely can't do that. But here, she can actually catch the opponent off with a low because they're so used to all the ridiculous overheads that she has, so instead she catches them with a random low. And then check this out, the final hit is actually +2 on block, which means you can use it for some tricky frame traps. And there's actually one more way to end this string. Instead of pressing triangle, press X twice quickly, and you get a flurry of lows that follow up. And the game won't actually tell me if this string is safe on block, so fine, I'll do it myself. This move is -7, so yeah, it is actually safe on block, at least when it comes to regular punish attacks. Next up, we have X Circle, ends in an overhead, or you can replace it with a low, very sneaky. But then last, but certainly not least, we have my favorite string, forward 3, 4, 3. For starters, this is your most damaging way to start and extend combos as long as you don't do the final hit, because the final hit can't be special canceled. And unfortunately, this next part seems like a typo because according to the game, the final hit is actually +4 on block, and it looks like it would be, but here's the thing, I'm trying to do it, and it doesn't come out on block. In fact, it doesn't even come out on whiff. So it seems like NetherRealm just had a mistakey here, a little oopsie, because you definitely can't do this move on block, which is a shame. I'm gonna tell Reptile not to block, and if you just look at the animation of the move, it looks like it's meant to be plus on block. Look at this cool spinning overhead. And even though that's it for the strings, keep in mind Mileena's standing 4 can be a really good anti-air. It relaunches the opponent, and she recovers pretty quickly, so she can dash in after it and keep a combo going. And now finally, it's time for the fatal blow. Let's see what the range is on this thing. I've never actually used it. Oh god, she just spits blood in your face. What's the range? What's the max distance on this move? Ugh. Gotta be at least round jumping distance, it looks like. Surely that's gonna reach. Yep. Now in terms of damage, it's actually above average. It does 35% when used raw, which is 2% more than most fatal blows in the game. However, that being said, it does hit mid, which means it's not a mix-up. Some fatal blows in this game hit overhead and even low, and then some are actually unblockable. That's not the case for Mileena. Her fatal blow is quite modest and hits mid. It can be good for ending certain combos and does above average damage. Alright everyone, that's it for Mileena. I hope you enjoyed my guide died? If you did, please leave a like down below. It really does help my channel out a ton. And then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell. That way you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.
Yeah.